Hey everyone, I'm Chelsea,
I'm April.
and welcome back to Always Better Together. So, I think for this, we're gonna tell them about maybe the story of us.
Oh. Sounds good, babe.
About just like so you guys have a little bit of background and a backstory for further conversations and video moving forward. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you want to start?
The very first time I met you.
Keep it PG.
I am well aware. Very first time I met Chelsea. I was a manager of a restaurant, and I was a test store, so I always implemented and tested things and everything.
I was her subordinate.
This was 3 months before we actually met, though, so,
Oh, you're talking
Yeah,
about the first
very-
time you ever saw me.
yeah, the very first time.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so, the restaurant I was at, we were, getting a whole new computer system, and that's kitchen and, front of the house and back of the house for the restaurant terms, but, yeah, she's on probably the busiest station in the restaurant. She was a cook, and she is just crushing it as a cook. I was like, oh my gosh, she can come and cook for me anytime. Like, she's amazing.
I'd love to cook for you.
I know you do. But she was like such a great worker. I was like, holy crap. And then I'll never forget, I looked over at her station and we made eye contact, and I was just like, yeah. But that was it for me. Like, I had met her and was just like, oh. Okay. She's, her eyes got me. Like, it literally, I was just like,
Oh, stop.
I'm serious. I was just like, oh my lord, like, this is crazy. Crazy. And then I went back to my home restaurant and was there for a couple of weeks, and they needed help at another restaurant, so I went a good hour and 20 minutes away for about 3 months. And when I got done with
never
that,
saw her again. I was heartbroken.
I didn't even think me. I was done at the other restaurant and was like, they said, okay, well, you're not going back to your home restaurant. I'm like, well, what do you mean I'm not going back to my home restaurant? Like, we need you to run this location because that store manager just got a promotion and you're the best fit because it was the busiest store in the state. So I was like, okay, sure, I'll go there. I didn't want to at all. I knew my staff. I was very happy being at the store I was at, but, you know, when corporate tells you and they dangle that carrot in front of you, they said okay. So I said okay. And then it was the middle of March, 2016. It was 2 days before St. Patty's Day, actually. It was my first day at the new restaurant, and there stands Chelsea on my very first shift. Yeah. You can take it from there. And she started seducing me.
Really?
Right out of the gate, started
I
seducing me.
most
It was
certainly did not.
Unreal. What about the coffee?
I'm going to talk about the coffee.
Uh-huh.
She's sipping her coffee. We're going to talk about the coffee. So, yeah, she was my boss. And I was super nervous to have, because I had a really great relationship with the previous management, and it was a hot mess. Okay. But regardless, we had a great relationship. So I'm like, oh gosh, now we got this like new manager coming in, and then I realized it was her. And now obviously, like, you know, when you like just vibe with someone, like with someone's energy, right? And we definitely vibed.
Yes, we did.
Our energies were energizing.
What are you, the freaking Energizer bear bunny, you know?
Really? Really? That's a little inside joke. We'll get to that in a later video.
Oh, shit. Oh.
But and then she walks in and I'm like felt like this sense of relief, like, oh, thank goodness.
No. Go ahead and tell them what the staff told you leading up to me getting there. Because I had seen and worked with some of the staff previously, years before this.
All right, so, you know, I do love men and women in uniform. And I love, like, listen, I love an authoritative personality. Give me that shit all day long. People talking about, oh, toxic masculinity. Honey, bring that shit here. Bring it on over here. So they had told me that the first story I got about her was that she was a drill sergeant. And I was like, oh, Lord, let me drop and give her 20 right now.
This body's a drill sergeant. This body.
And then they told me that she was a CO at like Iron Mountain, which is in Michigan. Iron Mountain is like one of the.
It's like a max, almost like a super max facility in the state.
Super hardcore, and I was like,
he's so full of crap.
Whew. Whew. Yes, put the cuffs on now.
Oh my god.
But that clearly was not true.
No.
So yeah, found out she was gonna be my boss, and I mean, I feel like the sparks just picked up and flew from that point.
I would say so. We were both in relationships that were going nowhere. You were actually out of your relationship, weren't you, at that point in time, I think. And the relationship I was in was just not even anywhere near what any kind of a relationship should be.
No.
So
she didn't know how to be treated, y'all. She didn't know what she was missing. I'm just saying.
When I love you.
I love you.
Jeez. Yeah, we just connected right away, and we were very flirtatious with each other and very talkative. We exchanged numbers.
Innuendos were wild, y'all.
And you know, if you've ever been in the restaurant business, that's just the culture that it is. Sure. And it's if you've never been in the restaurant business, you wouldn't understand.
It's a cesspool of sex. It's literally a cesspool of sex. All right, so we'll get back to the coffee because I feel like
oh my god, yeah. So I was the opening manager, and we had exchanged numbers, and she was in like an hour or so after open, like an hour and a half after open, and she texted me, "Do you want a cup of coffee?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be great, thank you."
Now keep it PG.
And she's like, "How do you take it?" And I said, lots of cream and lots of sugar. And she made a comment that and I don't blush. I don't get embarrassed. That doesn't bother me. I literally like saw her response on my phone and was just like, did she really just say that to me? Like, I have proof that she just said that to me.
I know what I said.
I know you know what you said. about a month has passed at this point. We're just texting. We hadn't met up yet. We hadn't gone out and done anything yet because it was after your birthday that we actually finally did get together. But yeah, we're just texting, talking on the phone.
Seeing each other at work.
We never had done anything.
It was like
yet.
that flirtatious culmination, like the pressure was building, you guys.
And I finally got the nerve to ask her to go on a date. And we did. I took her up to the zoo. And
who's like, let's go to the zoo.
But I mean, you get to walk around and talk.
I love animals.
You know,
Now,
I'm a huge animal lover too, obviously.
I told her things on this zoo walk that she probably should have ran.
I couldn't though. I was
the hair.
Yeah, I know. My God, I should have ran at that one. Good
hair on fire.
Lord. Yeah, but we were at the zoo for like about 2 hours probably, and I said, "Hey, do you want to go get some lunch?" And we went to this local place and we each got a beer and some appetizers, and next thing I knew, it was about 7-8 hours later, and we weren't drunk by any means, but we were literally just sitting there talking, and I had never in my life had such a comfortable, fluid conversation. It was just so natural, so comforting, and it was just
this is where I'm supposed to
exactly. This is what I should be doing right now, is talking to this person and getting to know them. And yeah, we
got married very quickly, you guys, but
very quickly.
I think it was
we met in the beginning. Well, I mean, we technically met January, but we didn't know each other.
We weren't dating until
we met early to middle March, and we got married middle of May.
May
5/17. Mm-hmm. Yep, 2 months. But here we are, over 8 years later, going on 9.
Almost 9 years. It's honestly been the most fulfilling relationship I've ever had in my life. The most loving. I've never experienced a love like she gives me every single day. And a reciprocal love, because I really do feel like that is very important.
Huge thing. It's so important.
I love you so much. I never thought I was gonna marry anyone, and
neither did I.
So our marriage, when we got married, her best friend got ordained because she got ordained for her. Well, it was best friends at the time. She married. April is an ordained minister. Anyone who wants, we're here for it. So she married her best friend. Her best friend got ordained to marry us, and our marriage was.
We didn't even tell our parents.
Our moms were so pissed.
Oh my God.
They were so mad. They were so mad.
It took my mom, 2 months? 3 months to finally come down? Because she's gone now, but she only lived barely over an hour away north of me. So it took her 3 months, I want to say. Because she had said she was going to come down and she canceled. Then she said she was going to come down again and canceled again. And then the third time she finally came down, and I will never in my life forget. I'm gonna try hard not to cry. But Chelsea was outside talking to her husband at the time. And I was in the kitchen. I was washing some dishes, and my mom comes inside and she just looks at me and she goes,
Right.
"You have your Ralph." And that's my dad who died a long time ago. That's not why I'm crying. It was because I'll never forget that moment of my mom just looked at me and she understood why I did what I did. Why it was just, everything happens for a reason. Everything,
Absolutely.
you meet people in your life for a reason. You experience things for reasons. You can learn from them positively or negatively, but the biggest thing was my mom knew why I did what I did. And she saw that in Chelsea the instant she met her. And that to me was just like complete solidification for me to know that my mom approved of it and saw the love that we had for each other.
Her mom loved me, you guys.
Oh my God. My mom ended up just would call her instead of calling me about what are we doing for Thanksgiving? What are we doing for Christmas? And I'm like, I mean, I'm your kid for God's sakes. But no, which I love.
That's why, so Linda, this tattoo, that is my late mother-in-law. That is her mother. Linda was,
June Cleaver.
She was
And June Cleaver.
I think that's why she loved me so much, because she knew that I was going to be the her for you, if that makes any sense. Not in like a weird Norman Bates way, you know what I mean? Like, I was gonna take care of her, and April had never had that in any relationship.
No.
Ever. We'll get into that in the next video. This was just kind of like supposed to be like a quick little story of us, but I feel like we're gonna go off into like squirrel tangents.
That is a story of us though. Like everything that's happened to us is a story of us.
Absolutely.
You know, like even the dumb little things, they're still the story of us and why we are the way we are now and what we do now.
So that is the backstory of how we met, how we fell in love. It was I don't even know how to explain it.
I remember telling...
Other than... Hold on, can I finish?
Oh, sorry.
Or are you gonna... Like,
Nope.
It's alright.
Go ahead.
I don't know how to explain it other than when I was with her, I felt whole and complete. Like all of the cells in my body had finally figured out where they were supposed to be. And it's a feeling you really can't describe. Like, our first kiss, like when we kissed for the first time was, I honestly,
that cheesy saying of when you know, you know.
Absolutely.
Is so, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, fairy tale crap, whatever. It's all what's in the movies. Disney made it up, blah, blah, blah. I will never forget.
It's real, guys.
The first time we kissed. Like, just when you know, you know. And I remember saying that to my mom on my way home. I had a work thing I had to go do in Grand Rapids, and I was talking to my mom on my way back home. And I said to her, I'm like, there's something about Chelsea. There's just something different about her than any other person. I remember telling her, I'm like, I'm gonna marry her. I hadn't proposed to Chelsea yet, hadn't. And my mom goes, don't you think it's a little early? And I said, when you know, you know. And she just was like, oh, April Dawn. It's just, you know how my mom was. But I remember telling her, I'm like, there's something about this woman that is so different than anything I've ever encountered, experienced in my life. And it wasn't just this.
It wasn't a lustful thing.
It was like your heart's just fulfilled, and it's like all you saw in your life was black and white, and then all of a sudden you get to see these brilliant yellows and greens and pinks and blues and purples, and you're like, what is going on? Like your stomach starts fluttering when they come around. Like I still get goosebumps. Like, that's what it should be, though, you know? It's not all pretty. We've been through some crap.
Absolutely.
But that's what it should be, is a reciprocated, when, you know what, when you're having a bad day, I'm going to be there to pick you up. When I'm having a bad day, you're going to be there to pick me up. And you're going to...
That's a whole nother video.
But that's what a relationship should, for us, is. And I love our little story and how it started.
So, all right, we're going to end it here. If you enjoyed this video and you're just seeing us for the first time, please make sure that you give this video a like. Please subscribe. We will be doing videos once a week. We're starting with the story of us, but we have many, many topics to discuss. As far as who plays what role, how we decided that, how it fulfills each of us. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
You don't even drink Coke.
Diet Coke, once in a while. I drink LaCroix. You owe me a LaCroix.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I truly do feel like we can provide some super solid relationship advice, regardless of what kind of relationship you're in.
It doesn't matter.
So, we still haven't figured out an ending line. We're going to work on that by the time we upload the next video. So, until then...
What she's going to do. I'm just going to be told what to do.
Well, I mean...
Let's be real. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We truly do appreciate everything, the few subscribers that we have so far, and for future subscribers, we appreciate your support. So is there anything you want to say in closing?
No. I got an itch in the middle of my back. Oh yeah, that's good right there.
All right, my friends, until next time, we'll see you later. I gotta think of a tagline for closing.
This is kind of a crappy closing.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
We'll get it together.
Well, yeah.
Probably not, but we'll try.
We'll try to get our life together. All right.